Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and hope that you guys are feeling good today. Today is Wednesday, so you know that today is going to mark our day to work with the novel. Okay, it's novel day, so I'm just anticipating everyone's attendance into the meeting. Once that is done, we're going to just recap. We have read chapters 1 through 9 so far. And that being said, we have a good idea of how the novel is turning out to be like. And also, we are getting very close to finishing the novel. Okay. So again, just wanted to, highlight that for you guys that we are almost done. We still have about approximately, today we're going to cover chapter 10 and 11. Okay, if you guys check your SMS, you will see that I have posted for you the questions. All right, these are the study guide questions for chapter 11, for chapter 10 and 11. Okay, and 10 questions for chapter 11 and and 8 questions for chapter 11. All right, I will also post an upload vocab words that are associated with these two chapters, and we're gonna go over them today. Okay, so today I'm gonna start off by reminding you and just recapping with you about the last chapter, which is chapter 9. Okay, and with chapter 9 we saw the big event that took place was the actual rumble. Okay, and can someone tell me who won the rumble? Who won the rumble? Raise your hand for participation. Who won the rumble between the socials and the greasers? Please, Muhammad, can you please tell me?
Who won the rumble was the Creasers and the Burgleys and the Shepherds because they
Good.
all teamed up against the socials.
Against the socials, that is correct. And how was Ponyboy feeling before the rumble? Physically and emotionally. Okay, physically and emotionally. How was
He,
Ponyboy feeling physically and emotionally before the rumble? What, please?
He was feeling very sick, which is a reason as to why he took 5 aspirins.
Good job. So we know that he was physically sick. He felt feverish and exhausted, and that is why, Ward explains that he took 5 aspirins, which is a very big number that could actually hurt him. And it shows him taking these 5 aspirins. It shows that he's trying to really fight this physical illness that he's feeling because he wants to do what? Why is he fighting this physical pain that he has? Why is he fighting it? Why is he taking so many aspirins to do what? Geser.
Because he wanted to fight in the rumble.
Good job. Good. He wants to fight in the rumble, and we see at the rumble, we see that Pony Boy is kind of split in the middle between wanting to fight and not wanting to fight. Okay, and we saw that when, especially after his conversation with Randy. All right, what was his conversation with Randy like? What was highlighted in the conversation between him and Randy? Okay, what was it like? Um, how about Adam Walson? Can you please remind us of Pony Boy's conversation with Randy?
Miss yesterday, Adam Walsall's mic was broken for me, so maybe it's today also his mic is broken.
Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me, Muhammad. How about um, how about Ibrahim? What was the conversation between Pony Boy and Randy like? What do we learn from Randy?
That Randy wants to give up.
Right, Randy doesn't want to fight, right? He doesn't want to fight.
Yeah.
He thinks that fighting is basically pointless, right? That it's not going to fix anything. However, it's just going to cause more damage. Okay, people might get killed. lives might, innocent lives might, young kids dying for no reason, and it's not going to
Yes,
ever. Yes.
it's what makes Randy's talking is true is that Bully Boy and Dally went and they won, but they went to Johnny hurt. And when they won the fight. Still, Johnny died. It doesn't make
It
any
doesn't fix
point.
anything. Exactly. Good. And we can tell that after the Rumble, like a very good point that Muhammad Walid makes is that as soon as they won the Rumble, they didn't stick around to celebrate. It wasn't a victorious moment like we thought it would be. We thought that this was going to be, they had planned to make a big party. If you guys remember when they were getting ready, and Soda Pop said, we're gonna party. We're gonna go like wild, and they had all these plans. However, we didn't see any of that happen because again, we see that they're more concerned about Johnny, about one of their members that is dying at the hospital, so they rushed to see him. Okay, so again, at this point we learned what happened to Johnny. Amarwa, can you tell us what happened to Johnny?
He was ill from the fight.
He said, can you say that again?
He was ill from the fight.
He was dead. Did you say that he's dead?
Oh yeah, at the end he was dead.
Right.
Ill.
Yes. So at the end of chapter 9, we learned that Johnny passed away. And what does he tell Ponyboy for before he dies? What was the statement that he makes?
Can I say?
Yes, please guess it.
Stay gold, Pony Boy. Stay gold.
Good job. All right. He tells him to stay gold. All right, and to stay to keep behaving the way that he does. Good. All right. So who is devastated? Who is highly devastated by Johnny's loss? Who's gonna take it hard? Who could we predict will take Johnny's death the hardest? Okay, who will? Ruqayya, do you know who will really think? Who will be very devastated? And we already saw his devastation at the hospital. Who was it? Jumana.
Pony Boy.
Ponyboy was hurt, but not badly, not as bad as someone else. Hassan.
Dali.
Dali, all right, Dali. Good job, Jemana. All right. So it was definitely Dali who is going to, and we're gonna see how difficult this, his death, Johnny's death, is going to be for him. It's going to drive him to misbehave or to act out. Okay, and usually uh, um, sometimes it takes sometimes people, when something bad happens to them, they cannot control their feelings, and they go and do angry things. Okay, because they're just so frustrated. All right. um, so again, today we're going to pick up chapter 10. All right. And remember, the whole rumble was a moral lesson. All right. And we learned from it that also uh, uh, um, that friendships can be damaged just because of social status or because of the idea of the social division. Okay. Especially when we saw Dairy face off Paul. The author mentions that they were friends. However, at this moment, they turned into enemies. Okay, and the reason behind their animosity is not even given. Okay, it's just a simple rivalry based on social difference. Okay, so in chapter 10, I walked down the hall in a daze. This is, of course, Pony Boy. Remember, he's the narrator of the novel. He's talking. Of course, he's in a haze, in a daze. That means he cannot really gather his thoughts. He feels like he's lost. Dali had taken the car, and I started the long walk home in a stupor. All right, so Dali is on his own by himself, and he took the car with him. So we're kind of worried about Daly because we don't know what he could possibly do or how could he possibly behave. Remember, he just lost his one of his the people that he really, really loved. And we also know that he cared for him so much. All right. He was the only person that Dali really sympathized with. Okay. Johnny was dead.
Miss, we can't hear you.
Maybe it was like it's the connection that comes and goes. Okay, sorry if I get some poor connection. All right, so Johnny was dead, but he wasn't. That still body back in the hospital was not Johnny. Johnny was somewhere else, maybe asleep in the lot or playing the pinball machine on the bowling alley, or sitting on the back steps of the church in Windricksville. Okay, so here Pony Boy is reminiscing and remembering that everything that Johnny and used to do. All right, even their terrible memory in Windricksville. All right, can someone remind me what Windricksville was? Who could remind me again? What was Windricksville? All right, let's go with Hassan, please.
It's a church.
Good. It was the place where they hid out, the church, or the place where the church was located, where they hid out for the murder. Okay. I'd go home and walk by the lot, and Johnny would be sitting on the curb smoking a cigarette, and maybe we'd lie on our backs and watch the stars. Okay, that was the same night. That's what happened the night that Pony Boy was late going home. He isn't dead, I said to myself. He isn't dead. And this time my dreaming worked. I convinced myself that he wasn't dead. All right. What do we know about Pony Boy and dreaming? What's the conflict there? Why does he say this time my dreaming worked? What is Pony Boy's conflict with dreams? Ward, please.
Is that one time he was dreaming the same dream over and over again.
Good. And it was kind of like a really bad nightmare that made him wake up in cold sweats. All right. And he started to get them when the night of his parents' funeral, when his parents passed away. Okay. All right. So I would so this is him. This is Pony Boy's way of trying to escape reality, and he does not want to accept again Johnny's death. I must have wandered around for hours. Okay, remember, he's walking on on feet, and he doesn't know. He doesn't.
Miss, we can't hear you.
Do you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so again, we see that Pony Boy is also damaged by what happens. And also, remember, I need to also clear this out for you so that we can make the correct connections. Pony Boy was hit in the head, if you guys remember, during the social or during the fight or the rumble with the social. A social had hit him hard in the head. So let's keep that in mind. He's not only delirious, and delirious means to be not conscious. Okay, when you're really you're walking and talking, but you're not really focused on what you're saying or what you're doing, and all his actions show that, especially him walking in the middle of the street, getting cussed. Walking aimlessly in the street with walking in the street with no
Miss, we can't hear you again.
Okay, walking aimlessly in the street, like I said, with nowhere to go. So a stranger stops him and offers him a ride. Okay, remember he's a little kid. So again, the way that Pony Boy responds, huh? Okay, oh, yeah, I guess so. I said, I got in. The man who was in his mid 20s looked at me. Are you all right, kid? You look like you've been in a fight. I have been. A rumble. I'm okay. Johnny is not dead, I told myself, and I believed it. Hate to tell you this, kiddo, the guy said dryly, but you're bleeding all over my car seats. Okay? This is again hinting back when he tells him, you're bleeding all over my car seat. This is a man in his 20s, all right, offering Ponyboy a ride home, a total stranger. And he sees that Ponyboy is severely hurt and he's bleeding from his head all over the man's car. I blinked. I am. Your head. I reached up to scratch the side of my head where it had been itching for a while. And when I looked at my hand, it was smeared with blood. Okay, so a reason why Ponyboy might be so delirious or might be not so conscious of what he's doing, he might have what they call a concussion. Okay, and this is when someone hurts their head badly and they're
Miss,
just
miss, the concussion is when somebody hits their head. Uh, somebody hits their head hard to the point where their brain touches their skull, causing them to go unconscious.
gets good, and that's what's gonna happen to him
People,
later on. Good,
these people who are in a young age aren't supposed to get concussions. It
good
might
because
affect their brain
it,
development.
good job, yeah. Bravo, ya Ahmed. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, I hope that you guys all heard Ahmed. Okay, so it's very dangerous, and Ahmed just explained to us what really happens when a person gets a concussion, and they're supposed to black out or pass out. But we see here Pony Boy is not at the point of passing out yet, but we see that he's very delirious to what he's doing. Okay, I reached up to, okay, so again, gosh, mister, I'm sorry. Okay, so he's apologizing because he had made his car seats bloody. Don't worry about it. This wreck's been through worse. What's your address? I'm not about to dump a hurt kid out on the street this time of night. Okay, so he wants to drive him home. I told him. He drove me to my house and I got out. Thanks a lot. What was left of our gang was in the living room. Okay, so the greasers, after they finished the fight, what did they do? They headed back to the Curtis house, the house that's always open for them and welcoming them in any time of need. Steve was stretched out on the sofa, his shirt unbuttoned and his side bandaged. Okay, they're hurt. Okay, Steve was hurt, bandaged his side, the side of his face. His eyes were closed, but when the door shut behind me, he opened them. I suddenly wondered if my own eyes looked as feverish and bewildered as his. Soda had a wide cut on his lip and a bruise across his cheek. There was a band-aid over Derry's forehead, and he had a black eye. So again, everyone from the gang seems to have some type of injury of some sort. One side of Tupit's face was taped up. I found out later he had 4 stitches in his cheek and 7 in his hand, where he had busted his knuckles open over a social's head. Okay, so everybody is hurt from this rumble in their own way. They were lounging around, reading the paper and smoking. Okay, do they seem to be happy about their victory? What do you guys think? What did you expect, and what the reality? Is it different? The way they made the rumble, they made it seem that if they win, the way that they were prepping for it, as if they were going to a dance, showers and hair and dancing and singing. Uh, you would think that they were going to be in such a good mood after winning the rumble. Is that the case? Is that the case, Hassan?
Yes.
So you think that they are?
No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
so how is reality different than what we expected?
Reality is worse than we expected.
Good. All right. They're behaving in such a downhearted way. Okay. They're all hurt. No one is happy or excited. Okay. And mind you, what does Pony Boy know that the gang doesn't know at this point? Abdurrahman. So What does Ponyboy know that the gang doesn't know at this point?
What?
What does Ponyboy know? Can you please tell me, Mrs. Mean? Can you please repeat yourself? It's not what, okay, honey? So, Mrs. Mean, can you please repeat yourself, and I will repeat myself for you. Okay. So my question is, what does Ponyboy come with home? With what knowledge that the gang is not aware of? You can't hear me. I'm asking you what information does Ponyboy know that the gang doesn't know about. What?
Johnny's death.
Thank you. Johnny's death. Okay, he is carrying bad news around that they're sitting in the living room. They do not know of yet. Okay, and he's gonna have to break this news to them. Okay, where's the party? I thought, Dully. This is what we were saying, right? You guys have planned the party. Now you guys don't look like you're partying. Weren't Soda and Steve planning a party after the Rumble? They all looked up when I walked in. Derry leaped to his feet. Where have you been? Oh, let's don't start that again. I thought he stopped suddenly. Okay, remember this is how the first fight happened between them. Because he was late and Derry hit him. Okay, so Ponyboy doesn't want to go through that again. All right, so and I think also Derry realized what he was doing, so he stopped. Ponyboy, what's the matter? I looked at all of them, a little frightened. Johnny, he's dead. My voice sounded strange even to me. But he's not dead, a voice in my head said. We told him about B in the socials, and I don't know, he just died. He told me to stay gold, I remembered. What was he talking about? There was a stricken silence. I don't think any of us had realized how bad off Johnny really had been. Soda made a funny noise and looked like he was going to start crying. Two Bit's eyes were closed and his teeth were clenched. And I suddenly remembered Dally. Dally pounding on the wall. All right, so again, Dally had a very angry reaction to his death. He pounded on the wall and he blamed Johnny for defending these kids, okay, or for, saving these children from the fire because it put him in risk and caused his death. Dallas is gone, I said. He ran out like the devil was after him. He's gonna blow up. He couldn't take it. Okay, so are we concerned about Dally? What is our concern about Dallas? What is our concern about Dallas? Yusuf, what is the gang's
He
concern
did.
about Dallas?
He didn't accept Johnny's death, and he ran out he was so mad.
Right. Okay. So he ran out like the devil was after him. And what does that mean? That he was very, very angry. All right. He was infuriated. And we know that, Ponyboy says that he couldn't take it. He's going to blow up. That means that they're worried that he might act in a very, he might take out his anger in doing something negative. All right. And we know that Dallas, what does he have on him?
Dallas is like a makeup trouble. He is the only one who had it to make so much trouble, and he even went into the cooler. So maybe he will do something worse.
Exactly. So we already know that his history is not so good. Yeah, Muhammad, absolutely correct. All right. So we already know that he's the only one from the gang that has been in the cooler, and that is jail or prison. Okay. And we already know that he has a very bad temper. And what is he carrying with him?
An unloaded gun.
Good job, Ahmed. He's carrying with him an unloaded gun, and remember, he said that he only carries it for what? Remember when he went to see them in Windrixville? He told them that I carry when they were eating uh, at the Dairy Queen. Okay, and he told them that I'm carrying a gun with me, but don't worry, guys, it's unloaded. That means it doesn't have any bullets inside. But why is he carrying this unloaded gun with him? Why was he carrying it? Maryam.
He was carrying it because he didn't want bad to happen to them.
So why was he carrying a unloaded gun? For what reason? Hassan.
Safety.
Okay, for safety, but was he intending on killing anyone? Ward?
No.
No, he was carrying it around just so he could scare people off.
Exactly. All right. So when he pulled it out, when if he pulls out the gun, of course the social would feel that threatened, so it would scare them away or scare them off. But he
Yes,
had no
especially
intention.
he talked about it, especially after Bob's death, because the Sox
Exactly.
wanted to take revenge for Bob, and the
Exactly.
Graces want to take revenge for Bonnie Boy and Johnny. So he had to get a gun unloaded so the Sox will run away and doesn't hurt him.
Miss, we can't hear you.
Okay, you guys hear me now? Okay, perfect. Okay, so again, Muhammad mentioned a great point. It was the retaliation that scared them from the socials of seeking revenge for Bob's death. He only was carrying it around to show off. So he might even make use of it. We don't know. All right, so we're just really worried about Dali at this point. How can I take it? I wonder. Dali is tougher than I am. Why can I take it when Dali can't? Then I knew Johnny was the only thing Dali loved, and now Johnny was gone. All right, so Dali is taking this really, really hard because we saw all these times that Dali have sheltered Johnny, protected him, treated him like his like someone that he loved. He really cared for him. So he finally broke to spoke everyone's feelings. So even Dali has a breaking point. I started shaking. Derry said something in a low voice to Soda. Ponyboy, Soda said softly. Like,
Miss, we can't hear you. You stopped that like he was talking to an injured animal.
hello? Hello? Okay, you look like
Yes.
a injured animal. You look like he was talking to an injured animal. You look sick. Sit down. Okay. I backed up just like a frightened animal, shaking my head. I'm okay. I felt sick. I felt as if any minute I was going to fall flat on my face. But I shook my head. I don't want to sit down. Derry took a step toward me, but I backed away. Don't touch me, I said. My heart was pounding in slow thumps, throbbing at the side of my head, and I wondered if everyone else could hear it. Maybe that's why they're all looking at me, I thought. They can hear my heart beating. Okay, so of course, here we see that Johnny is, I mean, Pony Boy is very traumatic. He is going through this experience where he is just afraid of everyone around him. And he's also worried about his own health. The phone rang, and after a moment's hesitation, Derry turned from me to it. He said hello, and then listened. He hung up quickly. It was Dally. He phoned from a booth. Okay, a phone booth are public telephones that are located on the street that you can insert a coin and make a call from. So Dally had called the Curtis home. What did he say? He notified the gang that he had just robbed the grocery store and the cops are after him. We gotta hide him. He'll be at the lot in a minute. Okay? So what they feared happened. How did Derry react to Johnny's death? By doing something crazy. Okay? What did he do? What did he do? Yusuf.
Rob,
Okay, Hassan, go ahead.
he robbed the store.
He robbed a grocery store. Exactly. And now who's after him? The cops. And why is he calling the gang? To seek protection. He has to be hid. Okay, they're gonna have to hide him and get him from the law in a minute. Okay, we all left the house at a dead run. Even
Miss, we can't hear you.
we all left the house at a dead.
Miss, we can't hear you.
You guys hear me now? Okay. So even
No, the voice
We
keeps
can't
cutting
hear
her.
you again.
okay, what about now? Okay. All right.
Yes.
So again, even Steve managed to get up, even though he's badly hurt from the side, and they all got up. And Pony Boy is wondering why, how come they're not doing somersaults off the step this time? So again, Pony Boy keeps comparing their behavior before the rumble to their behavior after the rumble. Before the rumble, you guys promised the party. Where's the party? Before the rumble, you guys were doing somersaults and flips and getting ready as if getting ready for a dance or a show. And now how come?
Miss, we can't hear you.
Oh, yes, how about now? Okay, so he keeps comparing this mentally. He's not doing it out loud, but he's doing it mentally to show what? To show that the rumble was just a big show, that it didn't cause any happiness or any victory. Yet it only causes drama and even put them in bad situations. Things were sliding in and out of focus, and it seemed funny to me that I couldn't run in a straight line. Okay, so again, we see that he's delirious. He's about to lose consciousness at any given moment. Okay, so he can't even walk in a straight line or run in a straight line. We reached the vacant lot just as Dally came in, running as hard as he could from the opposite direction. The wail of a siren grew louder. The siren of what? The police. The cops are after him and they are following him to the vacant lot. And then a police car pulled up across the street from the lot. Doors slammed as the policemen leaped out. So the policemen are there at the vacant lot. The policemen are out of the car and they're going towards arresting Dally. The door slammed as the policeman leaped out or got out of the car. Dally had reached the circle of light under the street lamp, and skidding to a halt, he turned and jerked a black object from his waistband. What did Dali take out of his waistband or from the waist
Unloaded
of his jeans?
the gun.
The gun. And we know that the gun is not loaded. However, does the police know that the gun is not loaded?
No,
No.
No. So what's gonna come into the mind of the cops? The cops are
they
gonna
killed
think
That
it.
he's shooting them, so they will shoot
exactly,
him.
exactly. Thank you, Muhammad. They think the cops will automatically think that, oh my God, this man is going to this reckless thief is going to shoot us. So of course, automatically, they're going to think of protecting themselves, and they have the right to shoot back. And they're of course they're armed.
Miss,
I
and also, Dali's gonna get a golden ticket to heaven or hell. I don't know.
Okay, good. All right. So, that's interesting. Okay. So, I remembered his voice. I've been carrying a heater. It ain't loaded, but it sure does held a bluff. Okay. So he's remembering his words in the Dairy Queen or there in the car at that moment when he was telling them that now I carry this loaded gun for a bluff. That means to scare people off. It's just a show. Okay. It's not really loaded. It was only yesterday that Dahlia had told Johnny and me that. But yesterday was years ago, a lifetime ago. What does he mean by that? So many devastating events have happened since that day in Windricksville that Ponyboy feels that it had been years because of so much trauma and so much issues were happening. Dally raised the gun, and I thought, you blasted fool. They don't know you're only bluffing. And even as the policeman's guns spit fire into the night, I knew that was what Dally wanted. So, like Muhammad said, the police did fire back. Of course, the police doesn't know what we know and what the gang knows that this is a unloaded gun. And as a way of protecting themselves, they shot Dally down, and of course, Dally is drops dead in the vacant lot under the light post. And Ponyboy makes a very good observation, and he says that he knows that this is what Dally wanted. So Dally might have went and robbed the grocery store. Dally might have done all this because this is what he wanted. He wanted to be shot. This is his way of asking for death because he doesn't want to continue living without Johnny. He was jerked half around by the impact of the bullets. Okay, then slowly crumpled with a look of grim triumph on his face. He was dead before he hit the ground, but I knew that was what he wanted. Even as the law echoed with the cracks of shots, even as I begged silently, please, not him and Johnny both. I know he would be dead because Dally Winston wanted to be dead, and he always got what he wanted. Okay, so again, Johnny's observation about Dally's death is he really wanted it. This is what he wanted deep inside, and he went and he did all this trouble because he wanted to achieve this moment of death. How did he die? With triumph on his face. What does
Miss,
triumph mean?
Miss, also they both died at the same night, and Bonnie didn't even handle just Johnny's death. So would he handle Dally and Johnny's death?
Johnny is going through so much trauma. All right, one event after the other. First, it was the murder, then running away at the church, being coming his conflict with his brother, then coming back to find out that the the state might take him away from his brothers. So it was just then the rumble. It was just one event after the other, and then the fire from the church. So it was just too much for a little boy, a little young boy to handle. Okay, and just keep in mind, Dali died with the triumph on his face. What is triumph again? Did he feel damaged, hurt, or from the choices that I gave you guys? What is triumph, Ahmed?
Triumph means to be victorious.
Exactly. Okay, so he died with a victorious uh, 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 um, look on his face.